So, what do you think are the most powerful words in English? You might think of big, complicated ones, but honestly, some of the most important words are the small ones. Words like can, should, and must. We call these modal verbs, and you use them all the time, probably without even realizing it. So, let's break down how they work and how you can really master them.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a question for you. What's something you can do? Seriously, just think of one skill you've got. Maybe you can play the guitar. Maybe you can speak another language. Or, hey, maybe you can just make amazing scrambled eggs. Got one? Awesome.
Well, guess what? That little word you just used, can, that's a modal verb. See? You're already doing it. Now, we're just going to put a name to what you already know and really sharpen those skills.
So, what exactly is a modal verb? The easiest way to think about them is as helper verbs. They jump in and team up with a main verb, like run, speak, or do, to add this whole other layer of meaning. They're what we use to talk about ability, permission, rules, and all sorts of possibilities.
All right, first up, let's dive into our first group, which I like to call the certainty crew. These are the heavy hitters, the modals we use when things are black and white, when there's absolutely no room for doubt. We're talking definite abilities and rock-solid rules.
So this crew really splits into two clear teams. Over on one side, you've got can and can't, which are all about ability, what you are or aren't able to do. And on the other side, we've got must and must not, which are all about laying down the law with some seriously strong, unbreakable rules. For instance, if you say, I can solve this question, that's a pure statement of confidence. You're not hoping, you're not guessing, you're telling everyone you have the ability. Simple as that. And the opposite is just as powerful. He can't drive a car. That's a hard no. It's not just a suggestion, it's a statement about a total lack of ability or permission, usually for a very clear reason. It is a definite nope. All right, so we've covered what you can do. Now let's switch over to what you must do. This is where things get a bit more serious. Whenever you hear the word must, your brain should just think non-negotiable. This is not a friendly piece of advice. It's a powerful obligation. They must bring their ID cards means it is an absolute requirement, end of story. And on the flip side, must not is like a big red stop sign. It's a strict prohibition. So when you hear you must not eat in the classroom, it means don't even think about it. It's completely against the rules. Okay, let's shift gears now. We're moving away from those strict rules to something a little softer. It's time to meet the suggestion squad. These are the modals we use for giving advice and for giving permission. Here, we've got two main players. First, there's should, which is like a helpful nudge in the right direction. It's perfect for giving good advice. Then you have may, which is kind of like being handed the key to a door. It's used to grant permission, usually in a more formal way. It's way less about force and a lot more about guidance. So, if your friend is stressing about a test, you'd probably say, you should study more. See? You're not ordering them to do it. You're offering them really strong, helpful advice. You're pointing them towards the smartest option. But hey, the choice is still theirs. And may, you'll often hear this in slightly more formal situations to give permission. You can almost picture a parent or a teacher saying this, right? It's just a polite and kind of official way of saying, yep, you've got the green light to go ahead and do that. And finally, let's meet our last group, the possibility pals. These are the words we reach for when things aren't so black and white. These modals help us talk about the world of maybe. Now, this is where it gets a little nuanced, but it's such a useful little trick. Both may and might talk about something being possible, but the real difference is the level of certainty. Just think of might as suggesting that the chance is just a little bit smaller, a little more doubtful. So if you look outside, the clouds are looking a bit gray, and you say, it may rain later. You're saying there's a pretty decent chance of rain. It's a general statement about a possibility. But check this out. She might come. She is sick. The fact that she's sick makes it less likely that she'll show up, right? That little extra bit of doubt is where might is the perfect word. It adds that perfect layer of uncertainty.
Okay, you've seen them all in action, so now it's time to pull it all together and make sure these ideas really stick. Just think of this as your own personal cheat sheet. We've got can for ability, should for giving advice, must for a strong rule, may for permission, might for a possibility, and must not for something that's totally forbidden. It's a great little guide to have. All right, time for a quick pop quiz. Let's say you see someone about to hop on their bike. You say to them, you wear a helmet. Would you use should or must? Which one feels right?
And the answer is should, for sure. In most situations, you're giving them strong, really important advice for their own safety. Now, if there was a specific law in that city requiring helmets, then yep, it would become a must. It just goes to show you how context is everything.
Honestly, the absolute best way to get comfortable with these is to just start using them. Pay attention to how other people use them, and then challenge yourself to drop them into your own conversations. That is how you're going to build real, natural confidence.
So I'm going to leave you with one final thought. Using one of our new tools, what is one thing that you believe everyone must do to communicate better with each other? It's a big question, I know, but a really powerful one to think about. Thanks for tuning in.